Hi guys. I am so sorry that this video is so late. I had the wildest couple of days. Whoever was on Elizabeth's TikTok live, I'm sure you saw. I lost my wallet this weekend, and then as I found my wallet, it was at my friend's house. On my way to pick up the wallet, I proceeded to lose my purse. So I was locked out of my house for a few days. I had to sleep at Elizabeth's. No big deal. We're back. We're here. We got my keys. We're living life. Very excited. I was gonna do a story time about how my ex-boyfriend cheated on me, but honestly, I don't even want to give him the time of day. So I want to share some writings that I've done, some of my favorites, and some positive quotes, because I always, whenever I get like down in the dumps or I feel negative, I always go onto a Pinterest board that I made. I have like thousands of pins on it, just of quotes that about everything, relationships, life, career, everything you could imagine. And that's something that just helps me. I know it doesn't help everybody, but it's something that I would like to share with you guys. I know this video won't be for everyone, and that's okay, because I hope that whoever needs to see or hear this sees and hears it. I am all about getting into that like very positive space, getting on a high vibration, and then things come to you when you're on that level. And whenever I'm down in the dumps and I go to write, or I go to look at quotes, or I read a book that's really inspiring, it immediately takes me out of that negative space, which is what I hope might help you guys. So I guess also I kind of want to just share that I know I told you guys about this on another YouTube video, but I thought I would work it into this just because it gives you a little insight on who I really am. A fan actually read my birth chart to me and sent me just paragraphs of like what she interpreted it as, and I want to read it to you guys because it's so true and I just think it's interesting. Okay, so we're gonna get personal here. This is happening. I guess, okay, we're doing this. Okay, I am going to just play you like a little bit of the song part. I am not singing in this. I just want you to get a feel of what it sounds like. So here we go. Okay, so that's just a little sample of me playing what I think this is gonna sound like. I stepped away from it for a while because I'll give you the backstory. So there was this guy that I was talking to before Love Island, and I grew to really, really like him. And at that point, you know, we lived across the country from each other. We talked a lot, and he was just a great person that I'll always have in my life forever. And it just didn't work out because I went on Love Island, and I guess I'm being extremely vulnerable. If he watches this, I'm gonna die. But he's heard the song, I sent it to him. It's Bad Timing. So I named it Bad Timing, and yeah, I'll read you it. So, oh God, this is so cringe doing this out loud. Okay, it sounds a little weird when I like just say it out loud, but this is one of my favorites that I've ever written. I hope one day I can like record it and actually make it a legit song. But this is how I started it. Like, this was before I put music to it, and I wrote it as kind of a very long poem. Standing on the driveway, hoping that you make it, trusting you want something more than just to see me naked. Hands down my back, makes me move a little closer, whispers in my ear, sends chills right down my shoulder. Everybody at this party isn't fucking sober. I've heard of magic in the Hamptons, but didn't really think it'd go this far, falling right underneath those mediocre Montauk stars. You're at the end of the world, that's the saying, but all that says to me is that no matter where we'll be, it'll always be bad timing. That's just you and me. And then the chorus is bad timing as I step onto the plane, bad timing for you not to say what you wanted to say. Find myself back into your aura, holding on to something you let go of, all because of bad timing. Falling right back into that feeling must have been something I believed in. Fighting back the urge to stay. Did you ever love me anyway? It was one of my best, but it's probably just because it was real and I wrote about something that happened and it felt really good to get it out and I liked the way it sounded. And yeah, that's kind of that on that. Another one that I just recently wrote because I wanted to stem off of that one, or you know, this could be a whole new one, but it's kind of about the same situation. It's not even halfway done, but I thought it was really good, so I'm gonna read it. Waiting for me in the driveway under those Montauk stars. Your eyes caught the light, now I just need a little more time. Wore my best red dress just so you could see through those blurry eyes and lines, but you're focused on me. Those blue eyes fucked me up just right. I can't explain why I know it's you. But friends don't set the sky on fire, yeah, the way you and I do. Under Montauk stars, burning up my heart with your complex charm like you do. So it's gonna be more like, okay, so this is what it's gonna sound like. Whatever, that's kind of like the gist of it. So that was one of my favorites that I wrote, and yeah, it's kind of about the similar situation. Yeah. I usually don't like force myself to write. Usually I just start writing and it flows out. But I really, like I said in my last video, I just recently got back into writing, like probably 2 years ago or around then, because I had loved to do it. I was really good in, you know, English class, and my teachers always told me that I was just too busy fooling around and I could actually be something. And then they were like, you just don't care. You're just the class clown. So I guess shout out to Mr. Hopkins. I care now. I also have such a funny one. Like, this is probably the worst thing I've ever written. Number one, I can't even barely read what I wrote. I wrote this when I was in my hotel in Fiji. The power went out and I was up at like 3 a.m. just panicking because it was scary. And so I decided to write a poem to that guy that I was talking to before. It kind of just like, because I was sitting in my hotel room contemplating, you know, is this the right choice for me? Did I make a mistake? And I kind of sat outside and just watched the sunrise. And I was like, why don't I write about it? So I'm like, I can't even remember what it says, but I just know it was like not good. It's called You Saw Me When I Was Invisible. As the vibrant orange sinks down into the calming blue, I can't think of anyone but you. Knowing you're miles and miles away makes me think what would have happened if I stayed. Because if I'm honest, you're everything I've wanted and more. Your mystery, your thoughtfulness, and endless allure. Scenarios replaying over and over in my head, and I can't stop thinking about you in my bed. Okay, Alex. Not knowing your touch or even presence is weird because I feel as though you're meant to be here. It's not that bad, but it does sound like a 4th grader wrote it. But like, you know, good for me. Just improving. No, I just thought that was a funny one because I was writing it in the dark. I was delusional because of the time change, and it's just kind of funny. It's a funny memory to look back on. I have like a few books that either passages spoke to me, or I also have this poetry book that I love. If you guys like poetry, it's called I Am Her Tribe, and it's by Danielle Dobby. And it's such a great read. I haven't read through everything yet because I don't want to like ruin it, because I don't want to run out. I have a few favorites though that I'll share with you. And these are extremely inspiring to me. I hope that they touch you the way that they touched me. They're incredibly well written. If you guys are interested in it though, it's a great read, and if you love poetry, it's even better. So I'm gonna read a few passages, ones that have spoken to me and kind of gotten me through interesting times. This is the very first page. One day you will awake with the craving for self-discovery. When this knowing arrives and you feel the pull to go out into the world, My hope for you is that your story begins on the cool wood of your kitchen floor. You, bare-skinned, sitting down, both eyes closed, one hand on heart and the other resting on your soft belly. This connection right here is the wisdom of the women before you and the tender infinite living within you. And if there is ever a time you feel lost outside of yourself, these guiding forces will always bring you back home. My hope for you is that you trust the teachings of what brings discomfort, and when you feel as if you are at the cusp of breaking open out into the wild of the unknown, you step forward with both feet planted in your curiosity and wonder. My hope for you is that you greet your reflection with kind eyes, that you never look to someone else for your belonging, always moving from a space of worthiness, longing for nothing of addition or subtraction. My hope for you is that you never stifle in your own power. May you always carry the belief that your words matter, unafraid to sing your truth at the tip top of your lungs. My hope for you is that you honor each moment in its entirety, that you choose your feelings over being numb and disconnected, owning every curve of life's light and shadow sensations, for you understand that in this present moment is where your happiness is found. This is my hope for you. I thought that this was such a beautiful opening to this book because it is all about women empowerment and understanding that you are enough and you have everything going for you and everything that you need is inside of you. My hope for you is that you greet your reflection with kind eyes is something that stuck out to me because I, along with probably most men and women in the world right now, you know, we get it from every side. The media telling you what you should and should not be, and you don't have a voice and all this kind of stuff. And I say, fuck that. Like, literally fuck that. Do what makes you happy. And this is something like this book and a few others have really helped me zoom out and look at the world in such a wider lens. It's helped me really live in the moment, which I did because I lost my wallet and my purse. It really helped me start living life according to no one, just to myself. Whatever makes me happy, I'm gonna do. I love that. I think everyone needs to get to that place, and I'm so excited that I am on my way to it. This is another good one. It's called Soft Magic. I can fall in love within moments of meeting someone. When the truest self is revealed, the lines blur between seconds and lifetimes. Our stories tethered, alive in the marrow. It's as if I have known you all along, because I have. Love mirrors and it moves. It's circular, untying you at your edges. My ability to love deep and freely is something I will never, ever try to shame or dishonor. I would rather be open to a love that is short-lived and consuming, one that breathes me wide awake, not a shackled life constrained by my very own resistance. Afraid to feel anything other than shallow waters. I would rather risk by wading my way out of it. Stepping into an unknown depth. I will not let my grip on safety carve its quiet desert from within. I thought that was really beautiful. There's so many in here that are just so great. Okay, this will be my last one from this book. This is one of my favorites. I found it down in Miami when I was with all of my friends. Craft magic out of your tragedies and use the strength of your story to bring you closer to love, not further away from it. It's so simple, but like, so amazing. I just love it. It's so good. The next passage is from the book that I talked about in a previous video, The Light is the New Black. This I thought was extremely interesting because I had seen a lot of things about it and I thought it was pretty cool, and it kind of makes sense, at least to me. In order for other people to acknowledge us first, we need to acknowledge ourselves. The people in our lives are merely mirrors, reflecting back to us what we believe about the universe and ourselves. Mirrors reflecting back to us our own shadow and our own light. If you are not feeling supported, maybe you are not supporting yourself. If people are not recognizing the beauty in you, it's likely because you are not recognizing the beauty in yourself. If people are not acknowledging your musical talents, perhaps you are not acknowledging them yourself. If people are not giving you the time of day, it's probably because you are not giving it to yourself. And I think that this is so true, and it must have struck home with me because I highlighted it. It's such an eye-opening way to look at things when you're blaming other people. I'm not saying that everything is like this, but I think this really speaks to going back into yourself and finding all of the ways to love yourself and explore your talents and put them out there without fear of rejection, and just going for it and having no expectations and just gunning it. I think it's so beautiful, and it really puts it in perspective, and it at least helped me understand why I am feeling those ways sometimes. God, the amount of times I'm like, I'm so irrelevant, like all this stuff. Choose your words wisely, because when you start speaking about that stuff too much, it starts coming into your life in unexpected ways that you don't want. My next one. This is not a poetry book, and it is not, you guys are gonna die when I show you what it is, but it is a Bible. It is a Bible to me. Why Men Love Bitches. If you have not read this book, please go out and buy it. It is one of the best reads. Elizabeth and I say there should be a rule that girls have to read this every year just to refresh it in their mind, because it gives you such good advice. It's not even about getting a guy. It's about becoming your own and owning who you are. And if someone doesn't like you for it, it's not your problem. It's their problem. And I just love the title, because the way she explains a bitch is not someone who's mean or talks crap on people or goes behind people's backs. It's a girl who has respect for herself and stands up for herself when she's not being treated correctly, or if she's being treated like a doormat. A bitch in this book is owning your own power and not letting anyone mess with you, and not giving people the time of day who can't see your worth. I don't even know which one to pick. Basically, how to take your power back, mapping out like how to avoid guys who are just trash for your entire life and are just gonna bring you down and hold you back. I feel like everyone should read this book. I can't even pick a passage because it's just so good. And this woman rocks. Why Men Love Bitches. Go get it. Okay, so next I just wanted to share a few of my favorite quotes that are on my board that I read when I am in a tizzy. This is such a simple, short one. There are no mistakes if you take failure as feedback. There are no mistakes if you take failure as feedback. So this spoke to me only because I've failed so many times, you guys. I've failed at so much stuff, and I've always been the type of person to be extremely hard on myself, because it's hard not to compare yourself when you see like, oh, she's doing it, let me try it, and you fail. Or you really want to try something and you're not good at it, or a relationship, anything. Honestly, every time you fail, you're learning something new. And that is something about me for sure that I love to do. I love to learn new things. I'm always educating myself about current events, what's going on in the world, injustices, and people. I love to talk to people. I love to hear people's stories. I love to engage and learn all of these new things about people and why they do this way. And I think that when you fail, you can take it two ways. And I know it's extremely hard to look at it as something that's going to better your life, but I got into the mindset of, if this doesn't work out, something better is coming. And I always think that way now. There's nothing you can tell me that will make me think anything else, because I have failed so much and I have not gotten things that I've wanted, and things that have been 1,000 times better that I never thought could get better were way better, and I would never want to be in the situation that I wished so badly I had gotten, or was in that relationship or friendship, all of those kinds of things. I started training my mind to think, listen, if you don't get this, it's not the end of the world. Something else is gonna come along. If you feel like this is what you wanna do, then go for it. And whatever, if you fail, another opportunity is gonna come along. Trust me, I have days where I get into negative spirals and I'm just like, oh my God, what's going on? Why is my life like this? Why did I lose followers? And I'm like, bro, if that's the biggest thing you have to worry about right now, who cares? Who cares? None of this matters. Something good is gonna come along. The people who like you aren't gonna leave you. Weed out all of the people who don't like what you're posting, and interact and engage with the people that do and support you, and screw all of the other people. If you want to be an influencer and you have 5 followers, fucking do it. Literally just do it. What, someone's gonna laugh at you? Who cares? Who cares? That's the best part. Literally, I always say this, rejection is the best thing ever. It just weeds out the things you don't need in your life. And that's that on that. I don't know if it made any sense, but this is one that I have had to do a lot of work on because I'm a Gemini and I'm insane. And everyone's like, Alex, you're a Gemini? No, you're just crazy. Like, no, it's because I'm a Gemini. This spoke to me because when someone does me wrong or there's an injustice, like, I literally go balls to the walls. Like, I watched that BFFs podcast yesterday, and the way Dave Portnoy is like going after all of his enemies all the time, gets their names engraved in champagne bottles, which I think is hilarious, and I would probably do the same. But I've had to learn that wasting energy and negativity on these situations or people or relationships, whatever, is just draining to you. It does nothing for you. It just takes away your happiness, which is lame, and the other person probably doesn't even care, so. But this is the quote. So the quote is, "Be so secure in who you are that when you are wronged, you don't seek revenge. You don't need to prove you're better or prove you're right or prove you're a victim. There's no point in hurting them back. You will gain nothing. Let them think what they want to think. Let them act how they want to act. Don't let it concern you. Know who you are, and what they do or say won't shake you. Just revoke their access to you and continue to thrive." So I've been wronged before, and did I want revenge? Yes. Did I blast my ex-boyfriend on Love Island because I was pissed? Yes. But it made me realize and like look at myself, and I was like, what am I doing? Like, why am I going out of my way to prove a point? Like, if I already know that I was the best that person was ever gonna have, or anything, even those thoughts are like, whatever, you move along. It's telling you to let go. And I know how hard it is sometimes to let go of situations. Trust me, I'm not over certain situations. Did you just hear the song that I wrote? Like, obviously. But be the bigger person is basically what it's saying in a lot of words. Focus on yourself and stop giving so much energy to someone when you could be focusing on yourself, making your dreams come true. But meanwhile, you're sitting here hoping that like you can get revenge or like do better. Just do better and be better. It's not serving me anything, not helping me get anywhere or thrive in this quote sense. So I've got to let it go and just trust that I'm going to move on to bigger and better things, and I'll live a great life. And you know what? I hope that they live a great life too. I used to not be like that. I used to not wish happiness on people that have wronged me. But honestly, like in the past year, I just started caring more about myself and my mental health and where I am and what I can do to be better, what I can do to make you guys happy and me happy, instead of worrying about, oh my God, I wonder if he saw this story. I wonder if he saw me here. Like, who cares? Who cares? Is he gonna reach out? Probably not. I'm just kidding. I just thought that was like a really great quote. And if I'm gonna link my Pinterest board underneath actually, because there's so many that I think would help someone if this is a way that they can gain closure, get out of a rut, get some motivation, follow their dreams, everything. So I'm gonna link that. I'm gonna link the Pinterest thing below so that you guys can see all of them. Sorry, I don't know if this is really lame, but I hope that it helps someone. I don't even care if this gets like 5 views. Like, I just hope that this helps someone. Next, I wanted to read the astrology thing that one of my fans sent me. I want to read it to you guys because it was so on point, and it's just, I've started to get into it, and I know some people think it's so lame or it's not true, but it kind of gives me a little solace and explains who I am. So I believe in it. I'm not embarrassed to say that at all. So shout out Lizzie Lotts. I still need to get on a Zoom with you because I want to talk to you, but she just thought it would be fun to read my birth chart, and if you don't believe in it, whatever, that's fine. But if you do, this is like a little bit about me. And I don't know if this is really narcissistic to do, but I just thought it was interesting. So if you guys are interested in looking up your birth chart, I always just use astro.cafe astrology, and you just need to know the city that you were born in, obviously your birthday, the time you were born, and your name. For anyone that doesn't know what a birth chart is, a birth chart goes really into grave detail about all of the other planets and how they affect you as a person, or like why they affect you, all according to where you were born, when, like what all the planets were doing at that time. So I know it sounds really witchy-woo and crazy, but it's really actually cool and insightful. So this is what Lizzie says about me. And when I say this is 100% factual, like I can confirm. So if you want to know everything you never asked for about me, here it is. So first, looking at your overall chart, you actually have a nice balance of all of the elements of the signs. So there's air, water, fire, and earth, and that indicates that you are a well-rounded person and very balanced. The most dominant parts of your personality are what I call your big three signs, your sun, moon, and rising. You probably know most about your sun sign, Gemini, which is an air sign. Two of your big three are air signs. Air signs are deeply intellectual and great communicators and very social, which honestly makes a lot of sense of what I know about you. They highlight relationships and they thrive on change and new beginnings. So that is something very true about me. I love change. I hate being in the same area or place or mind space for too long. I need a change up. I need excitement. It's how I get my energy, because if I'm just sitting in bed all day and I'm not with anybody, it's hard for me to get energy, if that makes sense. I feed off of other people's energy. So Gemini specifically is such a fun sign. My best friend is a Gemini. Geminis are very expressive and flexible, super sociable, and generally likable because of wit. I'm just a little witty. Oh my God. You're extremely adaptable and can get along with everyone. Geminis are loyal when it's earned, but some people don't trust Geminis as much. I found that most Geminis have what I call a switch or a polar in their personality. It can be just about anything. It's just two opposites or contradictory traits you possess, like being patient sometimes and being super short-tempered other times. Some Geminis have multiple. The key for people to get along with Geminis is to figure out and anticipate the switch. So that's definitely like true, and that sucks. But I know that it comes across to a lot of people that Geminis are not trustworthy, all this stuff, like they go behind your back. It's not really like that. It's more, we can see the side of both situations that you're explaining to us. So it's hard for us to make a decision because we can see both sides, if that makes any sense. And that's exactly something that I struggle with. I know I try to understand every single side, which sometimes makes me hesitant to pick a side, and sometimes people take that as disloyalty, which is fine if that's what they see it as. But I never want to hurt another person. I think that no matter who you are, what you've done, you still deserve to be respected as a human being. And sometimes other people just don't see it that way. So that's fine. But I do definitely have those switches where sometimes I'm totally fine, and then other things, like small little things, will just annoy the shit out of me. And I don't know why. Split personalities, I guess. So then my moon is in Sagittarius, so it's a fire sign, which in my opinion is the chillest sign ever. I don't like Sagittariuses though. Well, Sagittarius men, I should say. My brother's a Sagittarius man. Can't ever date one. I dated one and it was tragic. Your moon is in Sagittarius, fire sign, which in my opinion is the chillest sign ever. Your moon sign is your deeper inner self that people don't initially see. Your inner self is fiercely passionate and adventurous, always pushing for more. Your Sagittarius and Gemini work together in harmony to amplify and accomplish your goals. I'm sure quarantine has sucked because Sagittarius highly value exploration and new experiences. They love to take chances and care deeply about others. I would say your Gemini allows your Sagittarius to shine through, and they are generally harmonious within you, which leads to your hilarious, genuine, and spontaneous personality. She's so kind. Some weakness you may have are keeping secrets. I'm good when it's a really big secret that I just know I can't say, but I am guilty of that. Patience and slight nosiness. I need to know everything. That is so true. I literally must know everything because I think it's because I want to understand. I strive to find out the why in life and in people. And I think that also relates back to me being able to see both sides. I want to see why they're acting this way or why they feel this way, all that kind of stuff. Your rising sign is Libra. I love a Libra. Another air sign, your rising is how other people view you. Libra is the king of balance. Libras are very charming and light and airy, so people view you as such. I know a lot of people thought I was airy. A Libra rising means that on first impression, people see you as agreeable, romantic, and smart. People see you as well-rounded, balanced, and maybe a little bit flighty or ditzy. Which I know everyone has said that when they watched me on Love Island, that's how I came across. So she goes into grave detail. I'm just gonna do it. If you don't wanna hear it, just, you know. I feel you. Your Mercury is in Cancer. Mercury is the communication. So your communication is pretty good. You communicate with a lot of feeling and almost a motherly way. You think things through and are good at reading people and making a good impression. You may be easily influenced, however, and you desire and value quality communication that makes you feel comfortable, which is very true. I am a very communicative person, and when people can't express their feelings with me or explain to me why something upset them or anything along those lines, it gets frustrating to me because I just want to talk about it and get over it. I get over things extremely quickly. In the moment, it's probably heated, but I really do. I get so over things so fast. I think like when I fight passionately and I try to explain my side and why I saw it that way. I also will text someone the next day and be like, hey, like, want to go hang out when we get in a fight. Like, it's just how I am. I can never stay mad at someone for too long unless they really fuck me over. Your Venus, the relationship planet, is in Aries, and she says, ha 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 ha, I am so sorry, that's a tough one. Aries are extremely fiery and fun, so I'm sure you're above spontaneous fun in relationships, but you get bored very easily and have very high standards. There is nothing false about that. I get bored very easily. That's why I have always said I want to date someone who is in the creative industry. Actually, I don't want that because I just, nah. That's why I had always gone for athletes, because it's always a switch up. You never know which way it's going to go. You could be living in a different state in 2 months. And that's kind of like the fun of it. And you get to do all of these experiences together. You get to learn new things about each other, all of that kind of stuff. So that makes a lot of sense. You require lots of energy and you love the chase. That is it, my friends. I know a lot of people love the chase, but like if someone is just giving me everything right away, I'm like, I'm out. I am out. I need a little bit of mystery or a chase. This is spot on. You need a direct and honest person that can have fun and constantly mix things up. Mixing this with your big three relationships are hugely important to you, and it's important that people express their affection. Your Mars is in Leo, which is funny because that's ideal for reality TV. Mars is all about confrontation and conflict resolution. Another fire sign, you've got a lot, so you're probably pretty bold about arguing. Yep. You are super passionate, but tend to take things personally sometimes. You are quick to temper, but quick to forgive if a genuine apology is given. You're very reasonable, but will speak up and resolve conflict. I would say you'd be great to text for advice about an ex. Mars also controls your sex life, so your Leo attributes contribute to that as well. That is spot on. The way I fight is passionately. Like I said, I am a passionate person about everything that I take on, and sometimes it gets a little heated. But I never stay mad for long. That's all I can say. Jupiter is all about how much you trust and give to others. It's a bit more of an abstract planet. Yours is in Libra, which is an excellent pairing. Balance and grace are how you view others. You are extremely giving and caring, and equality with those in your life. You are a mediator and would likely succeed in law, the arts, mediating, or politics. Your charm and grace will give you many avenues to achieve your goals. It's funny because I wanted to be a lawyer when I was growing up, because I love to discuss and maybe argue to get my point across. Not the best trait. Your Saturn is all about challenges and how you handle them. Yours is in Pisces, which highlights your adaptability to challenges. You do prefer to overcome challenges alone rather than utilizing others' support. You tend to be suspicious of others and their intentions. You may have a dark sense of humor. The darkest. The darkest. Uranus, that's how you say it, right? Uranus is all about liberty and ego. Yours is in Capricorn, which is very straightforward and rule following. You probably have a pretty realistic view of yourself. You are open to creating your own definition of success and defying traditional careers. You have deep power that you may not always feel, but is consistently present. Don't forget to frequently get in touch with your intuition and your heart. This is actually really funny because I know that I'm goofy and I do a lot of like spontaneous things, but I follow the rules. Like when I was in school, I was so scared of everything, to get in trouble. I was a straight edge. Like I couldn't. My friends would get detention and I would be like, I can't believe like you have to go to detention and like scrape gum off the bottom of the desks. I just couldn't believe it because I never got detention. Well, I lied. Maybe I'll tell that in a different story because it's actually hilarious. Yeah, I'm a rule follower. It's so lame, I know. Also, the defying traditional careers. I've always said that I don't want to live a normal life, and I feel like I'm kind of doing that now. I mean, it's not normal. Yeah, it's so crazy how this is so true. There's like 3 more. I'm so sorry if this is not what you guys wanted. Lastly, your Neptune is also in Capricorn. Neptune is all about spirituality and your dream self. Very abstract, you are wise and sensible despite what others may initially see. You have a comforting and kind soul that can struggle with the need to be perfect. Capricorn is an earth sign, so your soul is deeply rooted and strong. This is a great pair. Bonus planet, Pluto, which is about your deepest fears, super deep stuff. Your Pluto is in Scorpio, in parentheses, ouch. So you have a deep fear of betrayal. You're a very passionate person and you can be scared of commitment or the fear that you will never be enough. So I thought that kind of like roped into all of the things I had talked about previously, relationships and dealing with situations. And I know that quotes can't solve everything, trust me, I've tried. But they do make you take a step back and maybe see something from a different perspective or a way that you've never seen something before. And you're kind of like, okay, that does make sense to me now that they've put it this way. So I don't know. I just thought this was fun. And I'm so sorry that this is so late. And that's why I kind of put this together at the last minute, and so it might be a little jumbled. So I just wanted to share that with you guys because it gives a little more insight as to who I am, because I think that it's so accurate, so you guys can get a little more information on me. That sounds weird, but I just mean you guys can see all of the different facets about me. And yeah, I don't know. I hope that you guys liked this. Next week, I think I'm gonna do, I just thought of it right now because I was talking about high school, but I think maybe I'll talk about my high school experience going to an all-girls school, all-girls Catholic school. And I wanna talk about this like high school drama I had, but it was kind of like 8th grade going into high school. But I don't know if it's a little too touchy of a subject or like trigger warnings should be on it, but I don't know yet. I want to talk about it. I don't think you guys know this about me, which is really crazy. It's something that shaped my entire life. So yeah, maybe I'll talk to a few of you privately and see how you guys feel about it. If you guys want to hear the story, it's very, very dramatic and very touchy, especially nowadays in the US where things are happening daily that I experienced. So yeah, anyway, not to get too deep, thank you guys so much for watching. Literally all of the people that come back every single week, you guys don't understand how much I appreciate it. Like, you guys just make me so happy. I am so grateful to have all of you here, and you guys are my family. I love you guys so much. You're my best friends and family, and I'm a weirdo. Yeah, I just love you guys so much.